All right, so today we're diving into something that I've always kind of been fascinated by,
Hmm.
woodworking.
Okay.
We've got some excerpts from this article, pasted text,
Right.
and I'm excited to see what we can uncover here.
Yeah.
I've always admired people who can just take like a piece of wood
Right.
and turn it into, well, anything.
Yeah. It
Isn't
is
it?
pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And this article really dives into why it's become such a popular craft,
Okay.
some of the benefits, and even tips for getting started.
Oh, I'm curious about that getting started part.
Okay.
I mean, I get the appeal of making something beautiful and useful.
Yeah.
But it always seemed like you'd need a whole workshop full of tools
Right.
to even begin.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
The article actually highlights how accessible woodworking can be,
Okay.
even for beginners.
Oh, wow.
It's not just about creating elaborate furniture.
Right.
You can start with smaller projects,
Mm-hmm.
like a birdhouse,
Okay.
using just a handful of basic tools.
So, speaking of tools, are we talking like super expensive professional grade stuff?
Not at all.
Okay.
Think basic, a hammer, a saw measuring tape,
Okay.
a drill, and sandpaper.
Oh, right.
You know, the kind of things many people might already have in their toolbox.
Gotcha.
And you can always invest in more specialized tools later
Okay.
as your skills and projects grow.
That makes me feel a little less intimidated.
Good.
So, what's the big deal about woodworking anyway?
Yeah.
Why are so many people so passionate about it?
Well, aside from the satisfaction of building something tangible
Yeah.
with your own two hands,
Right?
there's a growing body of research
Oh, wow.
pointing to the mental health benefits of woodworking.
Really?
Did you know that studies have shown that engaging in hands-on activities like woodworking
Uh-huh.
can actually lower cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone?
I had no idea there was like science behind it.
Yeah,
So it's like a form of active meditation in a way.
exactly.
Okay.
The article even mentions how the focus and precision
Hmm.
required in woodworking can quiet the mind
Right.
and bring a sense of calm, almost like a mindfulness practice.
Yeah.
Plus, in a world that's increasingly digital,
Oh, for sure.
woodworking offers a chance to unplug, disconnect from screens,
Yeah.
and reconnect with something tangible.
Hmm.
It's very grounding.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
And I guess there's something really satisfying about being able to say like I built that.
Right.
Whether it's a simple shelf or, a handcrafted dining table.
Absolutely.
That must be a huge confidence booster.
The article talks about this feeling of accomplishment
Okay.
and how it can boost self-esteem and encourage a sense of empowerment.
Mm.
And, this isn't just about making things. It's about learning
Right.
and constantly expanding your skill set.
So you're not just stuck at a beginner level forever.
Not at all.
Okay.
Woodworking offers a lifetime of learning opportunities.
Wow.
As you gain experience, you could explore different woodworking styles.
Yep.
Experiment with various types of wood, like reclaimed wood,
Okay.
which the article mentions adds a unique character to projects,
Oh, cool.
and tackle more challenging projects.
So you can start with a basic birdhouse and maybe someday build your own custom furniture.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there are so many resources available to help you along the way.
Oh, that's good.
The article mentions online tutorials, woodworking books,
Okay.
local workshops.
Mm.
There's a whole community out there,
Wow.
eager to share their knowledge and support newcomers.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling a little less intimidated
Good.
and more inspired to give woodworking a try.
Awesome.
Speaking of inspiration, the article mentions some specific project ideas, right?
It does. And they've broken them down based on skill level,
All right.
which I think is really helpful.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what kind of projects are actually doable for
Me-
someone just starting out.
Well, for beginners, they suggest things like building a simple stool, a storage box,
Okay.
or even a decorative tray.
Those sound manageable.
Yeah,
I can definitely see myself using a storage box or a tray.
right.
Yeah.
And these projects are designed to teach you fundamental woodworking skills,
Okay.
like measuring, cutting, and assembling.
Gotcha.
You can start building a foundation and then move on to more complex projects
Right.
as you gain confidence.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about those of us who maybe have a little more experience
Okay.
or are feeling a bit more ambitious? What kind of intermediate projects does the article suggest?
For the intermediate level, they propose some really cool ideas.
All right.
Imagine building a rustic coffee table
Okay.
for your living room, or a chic wine rack to display your favorite bottles.
Okay, now you're talking.
Right.
I can definitely picture a rustic coffee table fitting in perfectly
Yeah,
with my decor.
exactly.
Yeah.
These intermediate projects introduce you to new skills and techniques,
Mm.
like joinery, different finishing techniques, And maybe even incorporating some decorative elements.
So you start leveling up your woodworking game.
Exactly.
All right, what about those who are ready to take on a real challenge?
Okay.
What kind of advanced woodworking projects are we talking about?
For the advanced woodworkers, the article throws down the gauntlet.
Oh, wow.
They suggest tackling projects like custom-designed chairs, sturdy bed frames, or even trying your hand at intricate wood carvings.
Wow. Those are some serious woodworking goals.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think you can actually build those things yourself.
Yeah.
But all this talk about tools and projects,
Right.
we can't forget about the most important thing, safety.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The article is very clear about the importance of safety in woodworking.
I would imagine working with wood and sharp tools comes with its own set of risks, right?
It does.
So what kind of safety precautions should we be aware of?
Well, for starters, always wear safety glasses
Okay.
and use gloves when appropriate.
That seems like a no-brainer.
It is, but it's easy to forget or get complacent, especially when you're in the flow of a project.
Yeah.
And it's crucial to work in a well-ventilated area,
Okay.
especially when using finishes or stains.
Makes sense. Anything else we should keep in mind?
Tool maintenance is super important.
Okay.
Make sure your tools are sharp,
Uh-huh.
clean,
Okay.
and in good working order. A dull tool can actually be more dangerous than a sharp one.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having the right tools,
Right.
but knowing how to use them safely
Yeah.
and maintain them properly.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to realize there's a lot more to woodworking than meets the eye.
There definitely is.
Yeah.
And beyond the practical skills and safety precautions, there's a whole other layer to woodworking
Okay.
that I find fascinating.
All right.
The hidden perks, you could say?
Hidden perks. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, the article talks about how woodworking can teach you patience
Okay.
and precision. It's about slowing down, appreciating the details, and striving for that perfect finish.
I guess when you're working with wood, you can't really rush the process, can you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It forces you to be present, to focus on the task at hand,
Right.
and to work methodically.
I can see how that could be almost therapeutic,
Right.
especially in our fast-paced world where everything seems to move at warp speed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's that incredible feeling of accomplishment.
Right.
When you finish a project,
Yeah.
you've taken raw materials and transformed them into something beautiful and useful.
Uh-huh.
The article describes it as a maker's high.
Okay.
That sense of pride and satisfaction that comes from creating something with your own two hands.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can definitely see the appeal in that. It's
Yeah.
like you're not just building something, you're building your own confidence
Right.
and sense of accomplishment along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of build, there's something about woodworking that connects you with nature in a really special way.
I can see that you're working with a natural material,
Right.
something that was once a living tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the article talks about how each piece of wood is unique with its own grain texture
Okay.
and even a story to tell.
That's a beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah.
You're not just building something, you're almost collaborating with nature in a way.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's about respecting the material,
Uh-huh.
understanding its properties, and working with it to create something both beautiful and functional.
Right?
Yeah. And, we've been talking about all this practical and, therapeutic aspects of woodworking.
Right?
We haven't even touched on the artistic side yet.
Oh, right. The article did mention that it's not just about building functional things,
Yeah.
but also about expressing yourself creatively, right?
Absolutely. Woodworking can be a powerful form of artistic expression. Just imagine. You can take a raw piece of wood and turn it into a sculpture,
Okay.
a piece of furniture with intricate carvings,
Wow.
or even a stunning piece of wall art.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I guess that takes a lot of skill and practice, right?
Well, like any art form, it takes time and dedication
Yeah.
to develop your skills.
Sure.
But the beauty of woodworking is that there's always something new to learn and explore.
Okay.
You can start with simple techniques and gradually work your way up to more complex designs.
So where would someone even begin if they wanted to explore that artistic side of woodworking? Are there specific resources or techniques they should look into?
I'd recommend immersing yourself in the world of woodworking art.
Okay.
Visit galleries, browse online portfolios of wood artists, attend woodworking shows. Get a feel for the incredible variety of styles and techniques out there.
Okay.
It's a great way to get inspired and see what's possible.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I guess once you have some inspiration, it's all about experimentation, right?
Yeah.
Trying different things, seeing what works, what doesn't.
Don't be afraid to experiment
Yeah.
with different types of wood, different finishes and different techniques.
Mm,
You might be surprised at what you discover and what unique style emerges.
right.
I remember when I first started getting serious about woodworking.
Oh, do you have a woodworking story?
Well, it's not exactly a glamorous tale,
Okay.
but it taught me a valuable lesson about patience.
All right, yeah, I'm listening.
I was working on a pretty simple project, a small wooden box,
Okay.
and I was so focused on getting it done quickly.
Oh, I can already sense this isn't going to end well.
You guessed it.
Okay.
And when I applied the finish,
Yeah.
all these imperfections in the wood became glaringly obvious.
Oh, no.
It looked terrible.
So what did you do?
I had to go back and spend hours resanding the entire box.
Oh, wow.
It was a tedious process,
Mm-hmm.
but it taught me that taking your time and paying attention to the details
Yeah.
is crucial in woodworking.
Great.
There are no shortcuts to quality craftsmanship.
That's a great lesson, and I guess it applies to so many things in life, not just woodworking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about woodworking.
Mm.
It teaches you valuable life skills,
Mm.
patience, precision problem solving,
Right.
and the importance of perseverance.
So it's not just about creating beautiful objects,
Right.
but also about developing valuable character traits.
Exactly.
I like that.
And, we've talked about the personal benefits of woodworking,
Okay.
but there's also a social aspect to it that I think is worth mentioning.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Well, think about it. Woodworking can be a great way to connect with others
Okay.
who share your passion.
Uh-huh.
You can join woodworking clubs,
Hmm.
attend workshops, or even just chat with fellow woodworkers online.
I can see that it's like any hobby.
Right.
It gives you common ground with others, something to talk about and bond over.
Exactly. And you can learn so much from other woodworkers.
Right.
They can share tips, tricks, and techniques
Yeah.
that you might never have discovered on your own.
It's like having a built-in support system.
Right. And that sense of community can be incredibly motivating and inspiring.
Mm.
You see what others are creating, and it pushes you to try new things
Yeah.
and elevate your own craft.
So it's not just about the individual journey of woodworking,
Right.
but also about the connections you make along the way.
Precisely. And there's another aspect of woodworking that I find particularly fascinating.
Okay.
And it's something the article touches on.
All right.
The legacy aspect.
The legacy aspect, I'm not sure I follow.
Think about it this way. When you create something out of wood,
Yeah.
you're creating something that has the potential to last for generations.
Okay.
Imagine crafting a beautiful wooden table
Uh-huh.
that becomes a cherished family heirloom passed down through generations,
Right.
gathering stories and memories along the way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like leaving a tangible piece of yourself behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a way to connect with the past, the present, and the future.
Mm.
It's about creating something that transcends time and leaves a lasting impact.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole new dimension to woodworking.
Right.
It's not just about the present moment, but about creating something
Yeah.
that can be enjoyed and appreciated for years to come.
Absolutely. It's about leaving a legacy of craftsmanship, creativity, and love.
Wow, I never thought about woodworking in that light before.
Mm.
It's really making me appreciate this craft on a whole new level.
Good.
So as we start to wrap up our deep dive into the world of woodworking,
Okay.
what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listener to remember?
I think for me, it's that woodworking is so much more than just a hobby.
Right.
It's a journey of creativity, skill building,
Hmm.
self-discovery, with the added bonus of, potential stress relief and a connection to nature.
And it's never too late to start.
Right.
But before we officially close out this deep dive,
Okay.
there's one more thought I'd love to explore with you. We've talked about woodworking as a form of self-expression, but I wonder if it can also be a way to connect with others on a deeper level.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear where you're going with this.
Well, think about it. When you create something with your own hands,
Yeah.
whether it's a simple gift or a piece of furniture, you're pouring a part of yourself into that creation.
And when you share that creation with someone else,
Right.
you're sharing a piece of your heart and soul with them.
Exactly. It's a way to show someone you care,
Yeah.
to create something that will be meaningful to them, to leave a lasting impression.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like weaving your own personal story into the fabric of someone else's life.
And who knows, maybe that piece you create will become a treasured heirloom,
Right.
passed down through generations, connecting people through time and shared experiences.
It's amazing to think about the ripple effect.
Yeah.
that something as simple as woodworking can have.
So to our listener, we encourage you to explore the world of woodworking.
Absolutely.
Discover the joy of creating, the
Yeah.
satisfaction of building, and the power of connecting with yourself and others through this timeless craft.
And remember, the journey begins with a single step.
Right.
Pick up a piece of wood, find a project that inspires you,
Hmm.
and let your creativity flow.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into woodworking.